it's Adam, and welcome to... Oh, wait a second. There's a little bit of exposure there. I need a little cloth or something to wipe that. Oh, I know. One sec. I'm just going to wipe this camera. I don't know whether it's actually the camera or not, but... Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, it's Adam, and welcome to a rather cheeky little number. This is number 69 of Thursday Talks, episode 69. And you'll have to apologise because I'm going to go off on a weird rant today because I was very, very serious yesterday on the Kaching Club. So you're going to get a bit of full ads today, so I'm sorry about that. We've got David in the chat and we've got Retail Roadie. Hi, guys. We've got Christopher. We've got Maria. I thought I said Marla. Marla, that's quite a nice name, you know. I know you're not called Marla, but Marla's quite a nice name, isn't it? Neil's in the chat. Hi, Neil. We have, yeah, that's everyone. 6 people watching so far. So what was I going to say? Yeah, I know I'm a little bit early, but it's always like that with me. I remember at my 18th birthday party... Oh, we're going down a bit here. I remember at my 18th birthday party, I said to people, 8 o'clock starting time. And what that means to me is be there for 5 to 8. But what I didn't really factor in was that people do this fashionably late thing. And I was, oh my God, I was getting really anxious because I was thinking, oh God, are people going to be coming? And it was getting on for 8:15, 8:30, and hardly anyone had turned up. And then by 8:30, you know, just after 8:30, everyone started turning up. But yeah, I do not like the fashionably late thing. I am fashionably early, in the respect that I'm usually 5 or 10 minutes early. Ever sold anything via collectors' Facebook groups? I've had almost tea of success lately with big box PC games all going international. No, I haven't. Now, nice hat, cowboy. Yeah, I wanted to wear this one. It's pretty cool. I've got a different shirt on today as well because I've changed to my summer shirts now more. Because my other ones were a bit thick for this time of year now. Well, I mean, May can be hit or miss a lot of the time, but it seems to be nice now. So yeah, I've sort of changed to my other shirts. Yeah, I haven't sold anything. Oh, what was I going to say? I haven't sold anything on like the Facebook groups, collectors groups, things like that. I think the thing is, Amazon has quite high prices, so I'd need to match Amazon's prices or just below, like literally just below. So that then, you know, I've got a similar price. I know obviously you've not got the big fees of Amazon, so I could take a little bit less. But I mean, you've still got a small PayPal fee, and you've got the postage as well. Although they will probably pay postage unless you agree like an all-in price. But yeah, I don't know, I haven't. I mean, if I got something like really rare, like a video game that was really rare, it was maybe new and sealed, or maybe it wasn't new and sealed, but it was just a really, really rare title, I might consider it. I didn't consider it when I had the Mega Mans. Oh, we're going down a bit again here, I think. I didn't consider it when I had the Mega Mans for PS1, and they were fairly rare, or quite rare, £100 or so rare, so it was, you know, fairly rare. And yeah, I didn't consider it with them. I didn't really know there was that many Facebook groups did it, or I didn't know the extent of how many people were into gaming and how many Facebook groups were out there dedicated to it, and forums and all that sort of stuff. I didn't realise it was such a massive, massive thing in the social media world. And I think it might have been after that I actually joined GGG and a few other groups. So I don't even think I was in the groups at that point. But yeah, certainly it would be something I would consider if I remembered it and if I could get fairly good prices for. I know people do like auctions on there, don't they? They run auctions on the Facebook page. I don't know how well that would go down. I'm sure people do it with great success. Maybe other people, you know, who are doing the auctions might not do it to as much success. I suppose it depends who is in the auction, who's participating, how many people are participating. But yeah, so that's that. I've got another question up here. What was that other question? Are you holding back much sealed stock for fourth quarter? Yes, I am. I've got a bit of a plan. Don't quite know whether I want to reveal it or not. I'll have a think about that. I will partially reveal it. I'm not going to reveal all my cards because that's just stupid. But basically, what I am thinking of doing is rare board games that are sealed, right? That I know I can get like £100, £150 on Amazon for at Christmas. I'm going to try and source them from various different places for not cheap, but like a reasonable price for what they are. And then what I'm going to do is send them up to Amazon nearer Christmas and flip them into that big money. So like I could buy them for a buy it now price now, and then flip them onto Amazon at fourth quarter for like megabucks, because I know they'll go. But you have to see certain ones, and I'm sort of talking about sealed, not just sealed like board games, but sealed anything, you know, anything that's sealed that has a fairly decent rank now, and that you've seen on CamelCamel that'll have, you know, sells well at Christmas and fourth quarter. They're the kind of things, and I'm targeting specific things that Amazon aren't in stocking. These are discontinued items that there's only a certain amount of them out there sealed. You know, there's no more being created. So every fourth quarter, they should, in theory, on most of these items, not all of them, but in theory on most of these items, they should go up in value once more, and there should be fewer sellers of them year on year. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That's the kind of thing I'm targeting. So yes, I am holding back sealed products for fourth quarter on Amazon, but not only that, I'm actually sourcing specific sealed items for Amazon for fourth quarter that I know will really boost my turnover and my profit at the end of the year, as you know, and just make it an even better fourth quarter, really. But the thing is, with those items, you have to pay up for them, and you have to have a level of risk. There's a level of risk with it, like you're going to be paying pretty much full whack for those items now, and you're hoping that at fourth quarter they're going to go for double, triple, quadruple, so there's your profit. But you can minimise the risk by looking on CamelCamel, you know, on the price history. I love it when a plan comes together. Advantage of the Facebook groups is people will buy less than mint stock, but still at a good price if it's hard to get. Ah, right. I have a few like less than mint games at the moment, but I wouldn't say they're hard to get, but they're maybe I wouldn't even say semi-rare, but like a bit rare, a little bit rare, or they're a bit more uncommon. So yeah, fake Rachel's in the chat. Hi Rachel. Carp fishing, I do 70% of my sales in fourth quarter. Have a nice chilled 7 months of the year then. You do 70% of your sales in fourth quarter? Oh my god, that's crazy. I mean, I know like a lot of the retail stores do that, but for a reseller, I'm going to have to keep adjusting this. Seems like it keeps falling. But for a reseller, 70%, that's high. I mean, I don't know what mine would be. I'm trying to think. I wouldn't say nowhere near 70% though, god. Oh, you mean in fourth quarter? For some reason I was thinking just December. In fourth quarter, yeah, okay, I suppose it's a little bit more achievable, but god, still 70% seems high. For a reseller, you know, like, god, bloody hell. I don't know what mine is, I'd have to work that out, but I was thinking December. I was under the illusion you were meaning that in December alone you do 70% of your, you know, yearly sales. But no, in the entirety of fourth quarter, I suppose it's not too bad. I suppose, 70%, it could be done, obviously, and some bloody stores do it in one day, don't they? Some of these retail outlets, they do like 50, 60, 70% of the turnover in 1 month. Yeah, in 1 day, sorry, in 1 or 2 days. Over 4 or 5 months a year. Ah, right, okay. So just like fourth quarter and maybe a little bit outside of it, maybe January as well you're including in that. So yeah, I can believe that. I can believe it. It's still quite a lot though. Yeah, so what do you want for a topic today? People can choose the topic, because I know we usually do a topic, but for the last couple of weeks we've not really had one. So yeah, someone can choose a topic. I am testing PC games today, which is annoying. Yeah, I know. I pulled out like the crappiest one. One set. I thought I'd bet a little bit better one. Let me see. Let me have a look. There should be some okay. Oh, here we go. Black and white 2. That's okay. Yeah, I'm testing PC games today, so that's what I'm doing. The only problem is I'm having to install each one. Like, this is the problem. Because I'm selling them on Amazon, I don't want to just put them in the machine and let them boot up to that little menu thing and then say, oh, right, that's enough. I just don't feel like it's enough for Amazon. So I'm installing them and then going into them properly. But, God, it takes a lot of time. You know, anyway. But that's how it goes. I think some of them I might not have to actually install. I think some of them might just, it can be a quick, easy on. But yeah, a few of them I'm going to have to install. Actually, where? Oh yeah, there's the 2 I tested. I was just thinking I messed up the piles then, but I didn't. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today, and I'll be testing PS2, PS1. PS3, Xbox Original, Xbox 360, Nintendo DS, PSP, GameCube. Yeah, a lot of stuff. As well, like either today, tomorrow. Because I want to get it like all out, like all the stuff for Amazon out on Monday or Tuesday. If I end up like getting through that massive testing, I may actually. Oh, here we go. Some things coming through. I may actually be sending in like over £1,000 worth of stock to. Well, I probably will be sending in over £1,000 worth of stock to Amazon. So, how are you getting on with your accounting? You do it weekly or end of the month? End of the month? No, not end of the month. I do it start of the new month. So, I need to do it now. I usually do it 2nd or 3rd. We're on the 4th this month, and I still haven't done it. But I just like doing it that way. It's nice and easy. Do it at the end of the month, and then it makes the tax return so simple. You've literally got. What I do is I do 12 P&L accounts for all 12 months of the year, and then I do a master P&L account for the end of the year, and then I have my book. And I've mentioned this 1,000 times. I have my book for just writing it down, so that then I've doubled up, because I like to double check things. And obviously then I'll print off all my sheets of paper, my PayPal reports thing, my reports document, monthly, is it my monthly statement? Monthly sales statement? I don't know what it's called, but it's like a monthly statement thing. I print off that, and then any other documents, Amazon documents I need to print off and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I just do it monthly, and then as I say, I have a master P&L, and then I update that on the 7th or 8th of April. So I've done my accounts for last year. I've done them. I'm not one of these resellers who are very, very slacking with their accounts. Not gonna name any names, but you know who you are. You know who you are if you're slacking with your accounts. But no, I'm very quick. Boom, doom. That side of the business I like to be straight with, because it's a crucial side of the business. So I do spend a bit of time and make sure that everything's straight with that sort of side of things. How long do you test a single game for? Depends on if I like the game or not. Like I was on Need for Speed on the PC before, and I was testing that for about 5 or 10 minutes. If the game has got no scratches, and it's maybe like a PS2 game or whatever it is, I'll boot it up to the start screen, and then I'll see, because on the graphics of the start screen, sometimes there's, you know, things moving and stuff like that. And I'll see, you know, if everything's alright, everything's functioning correctly there. And then I'll just do it up to the start screen on some games if I'm seriously happy with what I'm looking at on the start screen, and it's got, like, no scratches, like one little tiny scratch, then I'm happy with that. So it can take me no time at all to do something like that. Whereas with other games or higher value games, I will test properly, like Mega Mans. When I had them, I'm referring to the Mega Mans again, but when I had them, I properly tested them, and anything like over 20 quid, really, you want to be spending a little bit of time on it, at least testing it. But the fact is, if you're doing the volume of video games, like I'm doing this week, I've got tons and tons and tons of them. And I've not really had a big video game haul for a while, so it's quite nice because I've had a little break from it and then come back to it. And I've just done it in little bits, basically, the last few weeks. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing that sort of volume, you need to get through them quickly. You can't, unfortunately, you can't spend 20 minutes, half an hour testing Simpsons Hit and Run or whatever it is. It's just not viable. It's like, I've got to get it on, get it on, check it's all alright, on to the next. And that's how it has to be. Because at the end of the day, it's work, you know. I mean, you can have fun with it. And I do test certain games a bit more thoroughly. And I have a bit more enjoyment. As I said, I think on another video, I was testing Star Wars Battlefront 2 the other week. And what I generally do, here's a good idea. Test all the games that you're not bothered about first, right? All the games you're not bothered about, test them first, and just whack through them. And then, in a separate pile up all the games you want to have a little go on. And then, at the end of your testing session, do those games, and maybe spend a little bit of time on them. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2, I was on that for half an hour, 40 minutes, because I wanted to have a little, you know, I wanted to have a proper go with it. Because I like Star Wars, and, you know, I just think that's a pretty cool game. You know, I'm not bothered about a lot of video games. I'm not really too fussed about racing games. I'm not too fussed about sports games, but I don't suppose a lot of people are. I'm more like the shooting games, and I like them. I like the shooting games. So, the action, the shooter, things like that. So, fighting games, beat 'em ups, things like that, I'm not bothered about. But the shooting games, the action games, that's what I love, because that's what I used to play a lot around my friends, and then I got my PS3 console myself. Must have been about 14 at that time, and yeah, it would just they're the kind of things I do. So that's what I do, and it works well doing it like that, because you get the work side of it out of the way, and then you get the you know the good stuff at the end. I tested Skyrim on my PS3 last year. Took me around 40 hours. Too easily distracted to sell video games. Oh my god. No, I'm pretty quick with it, because I'm not like, I like video games, I like selling them, and I've liked playing them in the past, but I'm not a major enthusiast. I'm not a collector. I'm nothing like that. I just like selling them, and I like dealing with them, and I like playing the odd one. That's as far as it goes. So that suits me quite well, because I have an interest in it, but it's not over the top so that then I'm wasting a load of time testing all these different games, you know. And I suppose it's not wasting time, but it's not time efficient. So what about Mario Kart ads? I've heard big talk from David McGregor, thinking he's top dog at it. I haven't. I did have Mario Kart in on the DS a few weeks back. Actually, I had about 3 or 4 copies. And I was testing that for a while. I like the handhelds. I do. I like the handhelds, because I really, you know, I grew up on the DS. I grew up on the Game Boy Advance SP. And yeah, I just like the handhelds. Me and my 3 friends, Ryan and Daniel, who were on the comedy show. Me and my 2 friends, should I say. We used to love that. And we used to love Super Mario Bros. And we used to do the challenges, you know, where you'd connect 2 DSs to each other, and you'd do the little challenges. I forgot what they're called now, but it's on Mario Bros. And And like Nintendogs, that when that first came out, you're on it forever, you know, it's yeah, so I could play them quite happily for a long period of time, but I stopped myself, you know, and being self-employed, you have to have willpower to say, look, no, I've got to get on with my work now. There's no one there, and I've said this 100 times, there's no one there saying to you, look, stop messing around, stop dicking about, or whatever. Maybe I shouldn't have said that on this live chat, but I will. I've said worse. But stop messing about, you know, get on with your work. There's no one there saying that, so you have to be that person. You have to say, right, you know, what I do is a good thing. Go by the clock. Go by the clock. Say, right, I'm going to have 10 minutes on this, and that's that. That's what I do, you know, and then I don't alter from that. I have very, very good willpower, and I can say no to myself easily. I find it quite hard to say no to other people, but I can say no to myself very easily. Like, no, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm setting a routine, and I'm setting an outline. So, you know, that's how you have to be, and going by the clock or going by lists and stuff like that is one way to go about doing it. It's a big game, and I fell in love with it. Yeah, Daniel used to play that loads. He used to love that. I used to only watch it. I mean, as I've said before, I used to only ever watch video games till I was about 13, 14, when I got my first PS3. I used to watch Daniel and Ryan play COD. I used to watch them play Zombies. I used to watch them play Army of Two or whatever it was, you know. And, yeah, Army of Two would have been out about then. I don't know, maybe that... No, Army of Two was around the time I was starting... When they actually got it, that was when I started playing it, because I remember playing that with Daniel. But, no, I mean, like, COD Zombies and stuff like... COD WoW, or COD World at War. That was when I was just heavily into watching people playing it. I didn't want to play it. I had no desire to play it. I was in awe of watching them, you know. And I was quite scared of those zombies, you know, on COD. Res Evil 7 and Last of Us are great. You know what that reminds me? I've got here on PC Left 4 Dead. And Ryan used to play this on Xbox 360. And that is a fast-paced game, I think. I think it is on Xbox. Don't know about on PC. Probably is. Or is that the one I'm thinking of? It's quite fast-paced with like all the zombies running at you and there's like hordes and hordes and hordes of them. That is the one I'm thinking of, isn't it? There might be another one like that, but I think that is quite fast-paced as well. But I used to love watching him play that, you know, so... yeah, I just used to love watching people play video games. I have Res Evil 7, The Last of Us, and GTA 5 waiting to be played next to the PS4, but I'm always too busy. That's the thing, it's, you know, this job, it's so... You don't get enough hours in the day. Well, honestly, you don't. I mean, like, I'm going down again here, one sec. Oh, I hope I'm not pressed anything, sorry about that. Yeah, you just don't. I mean, I've been working recently. I've been working from... I'll get up at about 7:30. Well, I say get up. I mean, I'll wake up and I'll sit in bed. And what I will do is I'll either do sniping at 7:30 on Gumtree or eBay or wherever else for that matter. Or what I'll do is I will finish any remaining listings off that I've got photos of on my phone. So like last night, I did like 23 listings from about 8 o'clock till about 10:30. So finished about 10:30, about 10:38 I think it was. And then I thought, right, I'll save them 4 listings for in the morning. So I did 23 yesterday. I'm happy with that. Saved them 4 for in the morning. So when I got up, and then unfortunately I didn't actually do the 4 listings this morning because I got too engrossed in doing some Gumtree sniping. But I will always work like. You know, I get up at 7:30, very rarely do I just sit there and watch TV in bed. I will sit there and watch TV, but I'll be doing work while I'm watching it. You know, I'm not even really watching the TV. It's just noise in the background for when I'm doing work on my phone. I will answer my messages in the morning, usually from eBay, or at night. But But yeah, I mean, yesterday and day before, I mean, this week it's just been work all the way through with little breaks here and there for food and stuff. And there's just no time, you know, for all the stuff I want to get done, because I'm quite pressuring on myself. I want things done, because I need to be on to the next thing, because the more stuff you can fit in every day, the more sourcing you can do, the more listings you can do, means the higher the total of listed value you're putting on your eBay store, your Amazon store, every week, every month. And if you can be on to the next thing straight, you know, really quickly, then you're getting more opportunity. If you can go out to those car boots instead of staying in, and you can do all these different things, then you're getting more opportunity to get more and more listed value on your store, which will help you in the short and the long term in your sales. So it's like this month, I've got this massive video game haul that I'm going to upload tomorrow. I did say I was going to upload it like today, but I'm going to upload it tomorrow because I've recorded it and everything. But I just don't like doing 2 videos on the same day, because it's a bit... I just don't think... I think it's just a bit too much, 2 videos on the same day. But I'll make quite a good figure in sales on that, right? And I'll send that into Amazon and I'll list that on eBay. But that's not enough for me. I want to get on to the next thing, because there's no limit. I want to just keep going and going and going and going, and picking up as much stuff and processing as much stuff as I physically can, so that then I can get a ridiculous month, 1 month. Then I can put a good portion of that profit into shares, which will appreciate in value over time. I can put a portion of that back into the business. I can put a portion of that into future ventures, and then it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. And I'm all about that sort of, you know, like your money growing over time. So when I don't hardly spend anything on myself, like literally like car insurance and a few other little things. And you know, if I want to buy clothes, you know, and I will spend very, very little on clothes, very little. My mum won't let me do this, but I want 10 pairs of jeans the same, and 10 like shirts and 10 t-shirts the same, and then about 5 or 6 of these coats, and that's it. Because I don't see the point in clothing. Now, that may really come as a shock to you, because you're like, but Adam, you love to dress up and you love to have rainbow suits and stuff like that. Well, I'll let you in a little secret. My mind is one big contradiction. One big contradiction. And it's very, very hard to live with my own mind. So, although in one respect I want that, and I want just that uniformity, in another respect I want to be wild, lavish, out there, all that sort of stuff. So it's like, I mean, I need to go and see a psychologist or something to dissect my mind, but and it'd be very, very interesting to do that, and I probably will do at that point. But anyway, getting back to my point, what was my point? Yeah, I like my money to grow over time, so I don't like spending on anything that my money's just gonna be spent and I'll never get a return on. So that's why I do my shares, that's why I'm doing a few future ventures as well, and putting a bit of money aside for that. And I'm all about just getting all these different income sources, and just getting all this income coming into one big pot, and then you take out of that big pot and put them into more income sources, and then the pot gets larger and larger and larger. And then when it gets to a certain point, I'll put my entire pot into a nice divided up, low risk, really well balanced, low risk share portfolio, and then just live off the interest of that. I am the kind of person, if I won the lottery, the ridiculous thing is, when everyone wins the lottery, they spend the money straight away. And they spend it on... What do they spend it on? They spend it on Ferraris. They spend it on this. They spend it on that. Cars depreciate in value. There's very few cars that appreciate in value. They all pretty much depreciate. What they should do is either spend it on like a really luxurious home or something, because obviously houses appreciate in value, or most of the time you do, as long as they're well maintained, and Or if they don't do that, they should just live off the interest. If they get 28 million, stick it in a low interest account that's really quite safe or whatever. I don't know how you do it. You might be other ways around it, because I know there's that like barrier, isn't there? When you've got a certain amount of money in an account, it becomes quite risky and the bank won't protect you or something. But stick it in somewhere that'll get you some interest and it's fairly low risk, and just live off the interest. That's the thing I would do. It's the thing I would do. People blow the money too quickly, you know. It's bloody hell. Remember, it's about the long term. I'm not thinking about my life. I'm thinking about my kids' lives, and then they should be thinking about their kids' lives. And I should be thinking now, well, I'm putting things away in that drawer. If I find a sealed Spyro on PS2, I'm putting it away in that drawer. I'm giving it to my kids, and then they can sell it when they're 50 or something, because by that time, that bloody sealed Spyro, if things go the way they go, it should be worth a hell of a lot of money. Although saying that, because of disc rot, I don't know whether that would actually be the case. Although, would it get disc rot in the sealed casing? I'm not sure. But it might have like completely withered away by that time. But I don't know. But you've got to think, this is what I'm thinking. All these ideas going through my mind all the time, because you've got to be thinking about them. Clothes are important. Please continue to wear them, ads. I'm not saying they're not, but, you know, they're important for covering your body, but I'm not saying they're important for anything else. Look out, Richard Branson. Here comes ad. Sorry, I know I went on a rant then. I'll stop ranting now. Right, let's see. When do you find the time for ladies? I don't find the time for ladies. I don't. I need to go out there and get some. One, let's say one, because that sounded a bit player, that did, didn't it? I need to go out there and get some. Question, what is your biggest obstacle stopping you from moving forward and earning more? Reselling. Sorry, I paused for a minute then, I was thinking about it. I kind of want to say space, but I don't think it is. It's not, no, I wouldn't say it's like a major obstacle. Like, it's always been a factor in my reselling. Space has, it always has. I think it will be some sort of a factor in everyone's reselling. But I don't think that's the biggest obstacle. Sorry Rachel, Carl must be mowing the lawn or something. I don't know, next door. I don't think it's my biggest obstacle. In one way, if we're getting deep on deep into things now, in one way it's my dad, and I'm getting quite deep into things with this, so I am being quite honest with you. In one way it's my dad, and in one way it's me. The respect that it's my dad is because he doesn't have that much confidence in me and my ability to make money doing this. And I think that he wants me to get a conventional job and just do it that way. And I've talked about this before, and that is a big blow to me. It's a big blow to my confidence, and it's a big blow to maybe my level of success in life. I try not to let it be, but it's hard not to let it be. So in one way it's my dad and his lack of confidence in me, that might be the biggest obstacle. But in one way it's myself, and I'll tell you why it's myself. Because I don't feel like a man. I don't feel like a grown-up. And I can see myself now, if I picture myself, I can see myself stood outside my own shop, dressed in rainbow, completely dressed in rainbow. And I can see Ads Emporium on a sign, and I can see me welcoming people in with funny, weird greetings, and I can see me working there and really enjoying it and being friendly with my customers, having good relationships, and being at the centre of a community, and really, and just loving that. And in one way, that is the start of the law of attraction. I can envisage that, I can see that. So all I need to do is work towards that to get it. But in one way, I don't know how I'm going to be that. I mean, I am getting quite deep on you now. I don't know if I can handle the stress of a bricks and mortar business. I mean, there's so many different things. I'm not talking about what ifs, because I don't really do what ifs and things like that, but I'm talking about the solid things that you have to look into. Public liability insurance, how you're going to go about selling used goods in your store, certain things that you can't sell in your store, because I'm thinking it's going to be mainly antiques, so I've got to look into laws and stuff like that. If I'm selling a bit of taxidermy in my store, I need to look into taxidermy laws. There's so much, and it blows up inside my mind, and I'm thinking, how am I going to do it? But then I think, it'll all flow. It'll all just flow. It'll all just come, and it'll all just set into place right, as long as I do the work, and I put the work in, and it'll all just settle into place. But it does scare me, and maybe not scare. Well, maybe not scare's a bit. Yeah, I think scare's a bit of a drastic word. I'm apprehensive. That's what I'm saying. It gives me a lot of apprehension about doing it. That's not to say I won't do it, but yeah, So that's what I really wouldn't consider bricks and mortar until you're absolutely smashing it on eBay, mate. Yeah, I know. I'm talking way in the future. I'm not talking now, but that's like my sort of, that's always been my ultimate dream. So whether it happens when I'm 50, 60, 30, 25, 72, it doesn't matter, I'll do it when things are set into place and are right. I'm not saying I'm anywhere near that now. I know exactly what you're saying, Neil. I'm not anywhere near that now. Ads, how did your parents like doing the video the other day? I could not stop laughing at your dad laughing. I know, he's funny. He loves putting it on for the camera. My dad, right. This was bad. My dad thought it was meant. He thought he was meant to act. He thought he wasn't meant to be himself. So he was trying to act, be an actor. And it just didn't work. And he started laughing because he thought he, couldn't be himself. But I was like, you just need to be yourself. And yeah, it just didn't work very well. But my mum enjoyed it. The only way to prove your dad wrong, Ads, is to make more money than he does. I know, that's what I keep thinking. You go for it, mate. Don't let the naysayers put you down. Really surprised that your dad is not supporting you. Shame. I know it is. Yeah, it was funny because in fourth quarter I was telling him my numbers. And he was like, he just shut up. He just shut up and he was like, oh God, wow, I didn't know you were doing that well, on the business. So, and I said to him, well, look, that is fourth quarter numbers and stuff like that. But the only way, as you're right, if I can earn month upon month upon month more than he does, that would be awesome. So that would be awesome. And then he can't say anything then. Or even if I can earn enough to support myself in another house, all that sort of stuff, which isn't far off. I mean, I'm being quite honest when I say it isn't that far off. A bit more work over a few more months, and I'll be there. And yeah, if I can do that, that is one step towards it as well. I've just, one sec. Getting well deep there, Ads. If you ever want to talk law of attraction, give me a shout. Will do, Chris, yeah. I love law of attraction. Did you spike your dad's tea with mushrooms? I love the video. Never laughed so much in ages. I'm sure he does support you in his own way. He does, and he does. It's weird because sometimes he will he'll talk to me completely as if he supports me, and then other days he won't, and it's just it's just a bit annoying. But there's other factors in that I'm not going to discuss. So yeah, I mean, I've got too deep as it is probably, so I'm not going to go even deeper. But yeah, dads are meant to be tough on you. It's their job, mate. You are doing a great job. Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose they are. I suppose dads, if you've got a daughter, you're meant to be really loving and stuff and all that sort of stuff. But if you've got a son, you need to be tough and whip them into shape. I know my granddad was he acted quite tough when I was younger. But I think he was just acting tough. my granddad is actually working on a building at the moment, which is quite cool. He's working on a building at MacLeod, because he cannot retire, because he doesn't want to retire. Right, sorry, I'm just going through the chat. Secretly, I think Dad does support you. I think he does. As Chris said, I think he does in his own way, and I think it fluctuates over time. But I don't think he supports me like 100%. Look at Nick. He's been there twice with high street shops. It's eBay that got him through. Perhaps Amazon too. Yeah, you're right. And it is one of those things like, do I need to think Ads Emporium as a physical store is never going to be a reality? Or, well, maybe that's a little bit too negative, but it might not happen, but it could happen. It could manifest itself in a different way. So maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. But I'm happy just to go along with what happens and put the work in, and we'll see. For something to manifest, you have to see it, dream it first, believe in your dreams. It's a bloke thing, Ads. What does your dad do? It's okay if you don't want to say. No, he'll be okay with me saying. He's a senior scientist at Sanofi Aventis, which is like a smaller company than AstraZeneca, I think. So, yeah, he does that. I've never really asked him too much about what he actually does. Oh, no, I know what. He works on inhalers. You know, like the little inhalers for asthma. He's brung some home a few times. Right, so that's all the chat. So how long will we be going? 40 minutes. We'll have another few minutes. That is why he does not want you reselling then. How come? Oh, what, I don't know, how come? Like, I was thinking asthma then. What, you mean because it's dirty stuff and I might get asthma? Or you're thinking, scientist, the fact he's a scientist, he don't want me reselling? I just don't get the correlation. Tell me what you mean, because I know. Academic. Oh, yeah. Yes, you are completely right. Yes, yeah. And he is practical, and he's done practical jobs. I come from very academic background, obviously, because I've not really done any other jobs. It's funny that my son is a scientist and I'm a reseller. Oh my god, that's weird, isn't it? That's what Neil says. What was I going to say? So I've come from a very academic background, and I was taught a lot of things that I didn't like. Like, I used to put up a fight. I used to be like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And then my tutor said to us one day about being basically the team leadership things, I think it was, and where you can be like a laissez-faire leader, or you can be an autocratic leader. And she said, you need to be, what was it? You need to be autocratic on, that was it. You need to be autocratic on a Monday and laissez-faire on a Friday. Right. And I contested that statement. I said to her, well, in my eyes, why would you be autocratic on a Monday? And I know where she's coming from with this. And this is a very stupid thing, and I was very young when I contested it, really. Well, I was 18. No, I'm not going to say that because I'm young now. But, I said to her, no, what I would do if I was a leader, I'd be laissez-faire on a Monday and autocratic on a Friday. Well, I own my own business now, and I've completely gone with her route. I am autocratic on a Monday, laissez-faire on a Friday. I'm getting my parcels out on a Monday, I'm smashing it, making sure Monday is one of my busiest days, and then Friday is my a bit more relaxed day. So it's funny because, like, there's a song by the Smiths, and in the lyric it says ideals are no, it's not, it's the Jam, I think it is. And if you say ideals are fine when you are young, and my ideal was that, if ever I had, a team, I was managing a team, that's what I would do, and I'm just going to contest all of their statements and not even do any of that. And then, now I've got a little bit older, but only a touch older, I don't want to say I'm old, because I'm not old, but a little bit older, I've sort of lost that ideal, and I'm not that bothered about it, and I understand other people's views about it, and I understand what she was meaning, and there's so many things that I contested in academia when I was being academic, when I was doing the academic sort of side of things, and I was very, I was missing something in being academic, and it was reselling. And then when that spark was lit by Nick, it was like, yes, this is what I want to do. Finally, I can stop writing essays and doing all this stuff and be practical. And let me tell you now, the part of this job that I enjoy the most isn't the listing. It is somewhat the sourcing, definitely, but it's actually, and this is really weird, it's actually the manual labour side of things, or the, slightly toned down manual labour, because it's not really physical. But like, when I'm carrying my auction job lots up the stairs, or I'm carrying bags up the stairs, or I'm carrying things from one room to another, or I'm sorting through things and I'm getting dirty hands, that's what I love. That is what I love. And I think maybe, going back to my dad, that's maybe why he's not too keen on it, because he's thinking, I need to be above that. When people say, like, manual labour is lower down for some reason, which it isn't, which it completely isn't. That's completely the wrong way to look at it. It's actually very rewarding and very enriching. And I think he wants more for me than just this. But the thing is, it's not about what he wants. It's I want this. I've always wanted this. I just didn't really know it. And I'm not bothered about making a load of money or anything like that. I just want to do something that I really want to do. And if it's something that he thinks is not where he wanted my path to go, then that's just tough, isn't it, really? I mean, if I have kids, I'm quite happy with whatever they want to do. If it's something that's illegal or something like that, then I might get involved more. But, as long as it's a fair career choice, then I'm going to, accept it. If my daughter was to become a stripper or something like that, I would find it very, very hard to accept. I'd probably have some words, but, Anyway, live your dreams, lad. You only have to answer to yourself, yeah. I found that all too easy to grasp with reselling. Yeah, so that's anyway. So I've gone very deep on this episode. Oh god, I was just thinking of the title, and then I went, oh, I've gone all too deep on this episode. But yeah, maybe that's what episode 69 should have been. A deep episode. I don't know, because it's a funny little number. So yeah. Does your dad enjoy his job? Maybe he gets annoyed you liking your job. Yes, he gets very... I'm not going to go into that too much, because it's more of... That's his sort of personal stuff, whether he likes his job, doesn't like it, and, things like that. That's more personal. But, yeah, I will say that he's not always been completely happy in it. And he sees me really enjoying this. He sees me... Actually, when he did the thing, did you hear on the... what was it? On the question Q&A, he said, yes, very happy about Adam working from home. And that was his little dig at me, saying that, oh, I wish I could work from home, and you get to be at home all day, and you get to... He thinks I do nothing. I honestly do. I think he does think I hardly do anything. And, well, I think in one respect he knows what I do and he appreciates it, but in another respect I do think he thinks I do very little. But, well, saying that, I'm on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube for 48 minutes now, just talking to you guys, so I can't really contest that statement at the minute, but, yeah, there's things with my dad that are a bit more personal that I'm not going to go into. There's things with me that are a bit more personal that I have gone into on the channel, and, yeah, there's a lot more to it than I'm maybe making out, but I can't digress, I can't go any deeper into it without sort of him being here and talking about it with me, to get deeper into it, because when you're talking about other people, you don't want to lay all their cards on the table for them. That's just something you don't do. So yeah, I mean, if ever he wanted to talk about it with me on YouTube, and he was fine with that, and we had a really honest, open, heart-to-heart chat, and we were really honest, and that would be great, and I'd love to do that. Or even if we did it off YouTube, But every time I've confronted him about it, and I've said, do you understand what I'm doing? Do you like what I'm doing? Do you have a problem with what I'm doing? He doesn't really give a completely straight answer. I used to argue all the time with my dad when I lived at home. My house, my rules. I know. Yeah, it's his house and it's his rules. I'm getting to that point now, you know. I'm like, oh God, you know, I'm itching to get out, because the reason is, right, my dad says I'm only allowed to spend 3 minutes in the shower. And he refuses, no matter how many times I've told him, to get a fixed water bill. Now, I'm not saying that's the best route to go down. I don't know. I've not got a house. But a few of my friends have a fixed water bill, and they can spend all the damn time they like in the shower. But because we've got one of them variable contracts or whatever, it's... Yeah, I know, Neil, look, see, you get it, right? And because we've got one of these variable things, he says, no, we've got to keep the cost down, and all this sort of stuff. Well, I'm sorry, but if you get... Right, and this is including, like, letting the shower warm up. I don't know about you, but I like to turn the shower on, and for 30 seconds, just let it get to a bit of temperature, right? And don't know about you, but I do that, and then I step in. That 3 minutes is including that, like, 30 seconds that it's heating up. And you know what he does? He steps in the shower while it's cold, like while it's stone cold, and I can hear him every time he has a shower. He's like, oh, like that, you know. And then he gets out really quick. And he just like, oh, I'm all business in the shower, me. I'm all business. Just get the soap on, do all this, all that sort of stuff. It's like, oh, yeah. Anyway, I know that's what I need to do, Chris. Yeah, I need to work out the cost, pay for my own water usage. I should do. 3 minutes to wash my ass, Dad, I'd say. He will be having a prepaid meter before you know it. Yeah, but there's so many things that annoy me, but I'm getting to that age now where, you know, children tend to, children are your parents. Like, my parents are going into the 50s now, and I'm not going to say my mum's exact age, but, you know, they're around that age, and they're wanting a bit more time to themselves. I can see definitely in the next 3 or 4 years, I need to be gone for their well-being, for my well-being. I mean, it's just the meals they do. They eat a lot of red meat, and I'm not saying red meat's bad, but I like to only have 500 grams of cooked red meat a week. I like to have a lot of salads and stuff like that. My dad likes salads, he loves salads and stuff like that, but the food side of it as well is a big one for me. And you know, my mum doesn't like me eating corn stuff, but I like eating it because there's less saturated fat in it and less salt in it, and the food side of it is a whole other thing. That's just one thing I'm annoyed about. But I'm not a young person who is contesting my mum and dad in the wrong ways and saying, oh, well, I just want to eat pot noodle, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I'm going to live in a pigsty, and I'm going to have bottles all over the floor and this and that and crisp packets and stuff. I don't want that. I want to do it the right way. You know, I want to move out to get away from their rules and onto my rules, which my rules will be more prim and proper. Whether I end up slacking off on that, but you know, time-wise and stuff, I don't know. But certainly, if I was in a relationship and I had my own house, I'd do all the cooking. I'd love the cooking. Or at least, like, 70% of it, because I might get a bit tired a few nights, so I might want my wife or my partners to do it. But, yeah, I love the cooking. I do a lot of cooking myself.